Today, we're going to continue working on our scatter plots. So you should already have your data points on your graph, a nice title, a Y label, and an X label. Now we're going to add just a couple more pieces to our scatter plot. So the first thing we need to add is our trend line. This is the line that goes straight through our data points and tries to find the best linear relationship that will go through the center of our points. So to do that, you'll want to make sure you're clicked onto your graph. You'll go up to this chart design button. And then you'll go up to that familiar add chart element, scroll all the way down to trend line, and then select this more trend line options, or you can select this linear option. If you just select that linear option, you'll have to right click on this trend line and then go over to Format Trend Line. When you do that, you'll notice you have this box appear on the right-hand side of your screen, and there's just a couple more things that you want to add to your graph. So you want to display your equation on chart and display R² value on chart. So now you have these numbers, which I can move them so they're not in the way of my actual data points. So I have my equation, which is this y equals 41.08x minus this 81,631. Let's make this a little bigger so it's easier to see. So this may look familiar to you. If you notice, we'll go to my draw function. If you notice, this should look like your equation from algebra. So you may have had some exposure to this, but your y equals, mx plus b. So your m, this is your slope, or how steep is this line here? And your b is your y-intercept, or where does it cross this axis? Where is that line going to intersect with that? And so here you can tell this is a negative number, so it's going to be way down here where it connects to that y-axis. The next value is this R². So this R² tells you how close do all those data points fall to that trend line. So if we see we have our trend line here that goes straight through our data points, this R², this 0.92, shows how close these points are to this line. So it adds up all these distances from this line. And this is actually a pretty strong correlation. So it's 0.9, which means it's pretty close to 1. And if we had an R² equal to 1, then that would mean our data points, all of these points falls exactly on this trend line. But since it's 0.9, it has a pretty good fit, which means this would be a strong correlation for our scatter plot. So those are the last three things you need to add: your equation, R², and this trend line. So now we have a completed scatter plot.